everyone! I just wanted to introduce myself before I give the presentation and get into character. My name is Lily Tate, and today the presentation will be on seasonal affective disorder. Time to get into character. Alright, here I am. My name is Persephone. I'm the goddess of spring, and I'm going to be giving the presentation on seasonal affective disorder. This first slide is going to be about a minute and 30-second long video. It's going to teach you about the diagnosis and the symptoms of seasonal affective disorder.
Seasonal affective disorder is a type of depression, and it can significantly impact the quality of your life. The fact that it is seasonal affective disorder is that you're feeling these depressive symptoms at a particular time of the year every year. So your symptoms usually pick up in the fall, peak into the winter, and subside as we go into the spring. There is a rare type of seasonal affective disorder called summer depression, which usually starts in the spring, peaks in the summer, and then subsides as we go into the fall. If you're noticing that your depressive symptoms are happening at the same time every year for 2 consecutive years, more likely than not, you are meeting criteria for seasonal affective disorder. For a lot of people at this time of the year, with the daylight decreasing and our days getting shorter, we experience that our lives are slowing down a little bit. We want to plant ourselves in front of the television, cuddle up with the blanket, and not really do much, and we're just focusing on staying warm. This we can identify as the winter blues or cabin fever. About 10 to 20% of Americans do struggle with the winter blues. However, there are about 500,000 individuals in America that struggle with seasonal affective disorder, where it's a little more serious than the winter blues, and it is actually taking a significant toll on their day-to-day functioning.
All right, that was just a preview of what our presentation will be. Up next, we have, pause for effect, description and diagnosis. So this is a manic depression that happens annually, starts off in the fall and peaks in the winter, and then normally the symptoms subside in the spring and get better in the summer. To be diagnosed, you have to meet the criteria of the DSM-4. This criteria states that it has to happen for 2 consecutive years, and that the symptoms include feeling down and depressed during the fall and winter, and then feeling better in the spring and summer. Okay. Etiology is that this is affected by circadian rhythms, and because of the less daylight that we have an uptake in melatonin, because melatonin increases when there is darkness, and there are also changes in serotonin levels in some cases. All right, now for incidence. About 1 to 10% of the population on the earth experiences this, with about 5% in the US population experiencing this. For symptoms, these symptoms include an increase in appetite, specifically craving carbohydrates, weight gain, hypersomnia, an increase in fatigue, and an increase in the amount of sleep. So even though these patients are increasing their sleep load because they're so tired, they wake up and they still feel very sleepy. Prognosis, this is annual, so this happens once a year, and it takes up about 40% of the whole year. So only 60% of the year are these patients feeling like they are getting enough sleep, getting enough melatonin and serotonin in their bodies to function correctly. Symptoms last. Related populations and lifespan considerations include women who are 4 times more likely than men to get this disorder. It happens during the reproductive ages, and there is a mean average of symptoms in oncoming at 27 years old, but it's also been noticed as 16 years or younger. Also, moving to a northerner latitude, so if you're born in southern latitudes like Florida or Mexico, and then you move more north like Michigan, unfortunately, these people are more at risk. Related disorders include bipolar disorder, anxiety, stress, depression, relatives who are first degree like your mother or your father. If they are diagnosed with SAD or with depression, you are more at risk for this as well. Medical management includes bright light therapy. These patients will sit in front of a bright light for 30 minutes right when they wake up, and it increases their happiness and decreases most of their symptoms. SSRIs are used to increase their serotonin levels. We have antidepressants that can also be helpful, and cognitive behavior therapy. Local community support agencies include the Facebook group. On Facebook, there's a Facebook group called SAD. You can log on to Facebook and join. There's a questionnaire that asks you, what does SAD mean to you? There's many people on there. They come from all over the world, and it's nice to get to have contact with people from all over saying they experience the same symptoms as you are. Also, when we're back at college, you can go to the counseling center. It's free. I've uploaded the phone number on there and also on your sheets. Another way that you can get in contact with an agency is by locating and talking to a local counselor. At this point, we are only taking video calls and phone calls. I called and double checked. Occupational performances that can be impacted significantly. Most all of them, but main ones include ADLs, which would affect your hygiene, your ability to get up and get ready. Your eating is affected because of your increase in appetite and the foods that you want to eat. For IADLs, you don't want to get out, you don't want to go. Work can be affected, play can be affected, leisure is heavily affected. Leisure is no longer fun for these people, and so the regular activities that bring them joy are no longer bringing them joy, and that can be alarming for many people. Habits, rules, and routines can be affected because people such as pet owners will no longer want to get out and take their dogs for walks. So there's a lack of role in their life because they have no more motivation. Okay, people also take big trips. We've all been on big trips during our winter break because we miss the sun so much. We all know that as Michiganders. So it makes sense why people who feel so depressed in the winter want to go somewhere warmer like Florida or the Keys or the Bahamas. OT interventions. This is where OTs can use cognitive behavior therapy. They can help with the light therapy. They can help modify their daily activities and produce schedules for these patients so that these patients feel like they have a reason to get out of bed, get up and do these things. Also, they can help with their medications. It's important for these patients to know when they're supposed to take their medications, if they are prescribed medications, how often, when they should be taking them, and they also need to be modified, so that's a great job for an OT. There is some research that shows that facial recognition can help with this. So as OTs, we are to show them people who have sad expressions and people who have happy expressions, excited expressions, and then they have to pick the ones who are excited faster. And you'll see that people with depression and SAD tend to pick the people who have sad expressions or worried expressions on their face before they pick the happy ones. These are my references. Before we get to our game, I'd just like to introduce my lovely parents, Mr. and Mrs. Tate. Come on down. We are going to be playing the Newly Sad game today. Contestants include Mr. and Mrs. Tate in red. There are only contestants, and here they are. During this game, we will be asking questions. They will answer the questions. Miss Tate, introduce yourself. Mr. Tate, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Cody Tate.
Hello, I'm Brooke Tate.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourselves?
I am a first grade teacher, and I have been married to my handsome husband for 30 years.
All right. Cody, you want to add
I'm
anything?
a superintendent, and I've been with my wife my whole life.
All right. And so, Brooke Tate will be writing her answers on the board. Cody Tate will be answering them the way that he thinks that Miss Tate will be answering them. Miss Tate, have you recently been diagnosed with SAD?
Yes, I have.
All right, so Cody will be answering these as if he's thinking about his wife and how she has to work through her days during the fall and winter. All right, here we go for our first question. What does SAD stand for?
What happens if I can't spell it?
Oh, don't worry, spelling is not included in this.
Okay.
All right, Cody, what's your answer?
Seasonal affective disorder.
All right, let's see what she wrote. Ding, 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 50 points to our main family. All right. For our next question, what is another name for SAD? Remember, no cheating. All right, Cody, what's your answer?
Seasonal depression.
Let's see. All right, they are on a roll, 100%. All right, 50 more points. In what season do clients feel peak depression?
Winter.
She knew! 50 more points. All right, what appetite is affected by seasonal affective disorder? What happens to your appetite and what do you crave?
Can I say it now?
Not yet. All right.
You crave carbs
Yes.
and increased appetite.
All right. All right. Another 50 points. All righty. These are my lovely parents. Okay. What season do patients start feeling their depression?
Fall.
Fall. Let's see what she wrote. All right, another 50 points. All right, these questions are at an increase. So these points are all worth 100 points.
Wow.
Come on.
What percent of people still suffer from their depression after their first year of diagnosis?
Ready?
Ready?
60%.
60%? All right, 100 more points. Currently don't know what they're at, but they're the winners. Okay, let's see. In what location of the earth is the greatest risk factor?
Tell me when you're ready.
Do we have an answer?
Northern latitude.
Northern latitudes. Let's see what she wrote. All right, one more 100 points coming at ya. All right, last question. What is one form of therapy that is used to treat these? Cody, do we have an answer?
I do. Bright light.
Bright light. Let's see what she wrote. All right, and we have a winner. And you get a brand new puppy because I am the goddess of spring. Here's a brand new puppy for Cody, and to help Brooke with her seasonal affective disorder, we have a bright light. All right, thank you very much. Let's take a close-up on that sweet dog.
Hi, baby.
All right, look at that. Thanks, guys.